This is a session on growing a BNI chapter, the social media edition. How to grow your BNI chapter using some social media tools. The agenda: in the next 10 minutes, we will cover why does social media matter, why should you play along, and the three biggest movers for a social media BNI chapter right now, which are Meetup, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Social media is the new news. If you ask any teenager what's the news, they're not going to CNN or ESPN or anything else. No, they're probably going to Facebook and maybe Twitter and maybe other things as well. But the news is old news, and social media has replaced it. It's where we find validation. Is this a real company or not? Is this a real person or not? Is this to be trusted or not? It's how we find out about upcoming events. What's happening, where, when, how, and how do I get to play and do something interesting. And we find out about groups that we want to join and activities that we want to participate in. All of that happens now that used to be driven more through newspapers is now driven through social media. So, without any further ado, Meetup. Great story about how they started shortly after the World Trade Center incident. And Meetup is about bringing people together to do shared activities. Right now, there are 140,978 different Meetup groups. And that equals 2.7 million, just under, monthly meetups. That's a lot of meetup activity, that's a lot of groups, that's a lot of stuff happening. And if you live in an area where a lot of people are moving into or out of, and that's a lot of areas, you're going to run into people who are looking to meet other adults. And Meetup tends to be one of those places. There is a popular rumor that I've heard a few times that Meetup is considered a dating site. So, let me ask you this. What percentage of Meetup sites have dating as a keyword? Is it closer to 25%, 10%, or closest to 1%? I'll give you a second to think about that. And if you answered C, you are correct. About 1.15% Meetup groups are dating focused. So that means about 99% of meetups aren't really about dating in any way, shape, or form. They're about meeting people to do activities with shared interests, shared explorations, and shared goals. And a BNI is probably a shared goal. People who move to the area, or sometimes people who are just looking and getting into new activities, will often turn to Meetup as a great way to meet other people with the shared interests, hobbies, desires, etc. Friends, associates, and business partners. And if you're a BNI chapter, potential business partners is something that if I just became a small business owner, I may be going to Meetup to find places to network. Facebook is about community and building a good one. It is not purely about silly cat photos, although, let's face it, they are kind of cute. Aww. But, no. Facebook is a place to share your history, share group outings, share pictures of meetups that members have been on, share advice. Some of the best Facebook groups that I've seen, some of the best practices include letting who's ever 10-minute presentation give a commercial on the wall. A link to the website on the wall. It has places for members to exchange information. If people did a particularly fun one-to-one, doing something cool, going to the amusement park, Ren Fair, whatever, you can have very professional-looking photos of people in the group enjoying themselves. It's also a way to keep in touch with old members and visitors who may not have made sense to join the chapter or may have made sense for them to move on, but if you did what you're supposed to be doing in the course of BNI, they're at least partial friends. They want to know what's going on with you and your business. And they still are going to be more than capable of referring you business if you're still in touch with them. If you're not in touch with them, you are definitely lowering the chances that they're going to give you quality referrals. So why not keep in touch with them in Facebook as an extension of BNI? And of course, sharing cute cat and dog photos is always nice too. So, LinkedIn. Who do you know that? If you're going on a one-to-one with anyone talking about a LinkedIn event, what you experienced, what you saw, can be, and who you know, is a great way to queue up the one-to-one, because you may have been looking for a great introduction to a mutual acquaintance or someone that they know that you've been looking to have a true introduction to for years. LinkedIn provides a great place. The other aspect is of LinkedIn, if you're not connected via LinkedIn, it's hard to share more information. And let's face it, if someone is in your LinkedIn group and they have like 10 contacts, 30 contacts, that's a little creepy. That's like, dude, what's going on with you? Why aren't you connected? And what is wrong? And so at the very least, shouldn't you be connected with your friends at the your BNI chapter? I would think that's a great start.